I shut down like I never have before on a game. This man came in the room one day. He said, "Damn, nigga, you don't ever get off that?" I said, "Bro, I can't, bro. I'm too down bad right now. That's all I got."
Sit there, start crying.
I am.
Facts, bro.
I'm like that. I'm an imploder. Yeah.
Welcome back.
So what
Episode 006. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about coping. Today is all about coping. Our inability to cope and why we need to develop healthy coping mechanisms. Because I think the last 2 weeks have showed us that it's been fucking trash. Absolute trash.
Yeah.
This is what? Episode 006, I think? Maybe 007?
7.
One of those two. Nah, I think it's 006.
Are you sure?
You know.
Welcome back to BDM. Blood Don't Matter podcast, where we talk about
so
everything
cool
related to why family is overrated and why you should figure out your own way. Break those unhealthy habits that you guys that we've developed all our lives and start something new, and learn how to be yourself and realize that regardless of blood, that it really don't matter. People are going to act in their own self-interest, and they're going to do what they think is right for them. And they're gonna think of you always second, sometimes third.
Bars.
That's very true.
Sorry, I came off hot just now. Sorry.
No, that's actually okay, and that's fine, and I completely agree with that. And at 30, very quickly going on to 31, I have realized that comfort and coping are two very different things.
Yes.
I am in the business of comforting myself, and I do it often.
Oh.
So I know what to do to feel better. Usually I look like a dumpster fire to the people on the outside looking in that know me best, because I'm not as charismatic, I'm not as talkative or as silly. But I'm out here just struggling with my mental health or whatnot, and realizing that a situation affected me a lot more than I was originally analyzing and looking at.
Yeah.
And then shit around it went bad too, and I know how to comfort myself. Like I'm so good at comforting myself. I know the things that bring me ease. You know what makes me motherfucking nervous though? I don't like when people in my direct surroundings see me. I feel like on that movie Bridesmaid, like, look away, avert your eyes, like, don't look at me, don't talk to me. And it's not even in a bad way, but it's like, even me being down, like, I see you be down, like, next to me being down, and that makes me more down. So now I'm like, oh my god, I'm so paranoid, everybody knows I'm really sad. Oh my god, like, it doesn't work, and it takes me a lot longer to go through my process. So as I comfort myself, look away.
I think that's part of the problem now, because like you're right. That's all I've ever been done my whole life, and that's probably why I am as heavy as I am, because the first thing I look for is either the most greasiest burger or the most sweetest donut. All I want when I want to make myself feel better is a glazed donut or a coffee roll or an all chocolate on chocolate donut.
I want to consume all the media. All the media. It don't matter what kind of media it is.
Food makes me feel better all the time, and there's no way I can ever think about it.
What about you? What do you guys do to cope?
Just chill.
Like I said, I don't know what
Wow.
coping
What
is.
you do?
We don't know what coping is.
I really
Not
don't.
cope,
Like,
but at least comfort. Because
Yeah,
I guess
what do you do to comfort
what do you do to
yourself?
comfort yourself?
disassociate or live vicariously through things that I see in other places.
Same.
Because I just can't deal with what's going on right now.
Man.
So I'm just not going to deal with it.
Man, facts.
Simple as that,
On
man.
facts, on facts.
We should call this podcast "Depression Does Matter."
Hey, blood don't matter. Depression matter, dude.
Yeah, that's what you sounded a lot.
It is the
you
bane
sounded
of my
very, like, sad.
existence
Very
that
sad.
Victor and I are so much alike. I when I say that I dislike it, I don't really think I'm like really exerting how much it makes me wildly uncomfortable. Like I vicariously live through things and don't deal with what I'm dealing with because ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Exactly.
I don't got the tools yet. I don't got the answers, Sway.
Thank you for the introduction. No, but I guess it's time for like weekly updates.
But Shamar didn't tell us how he comforts himself. Y'all not gonna.
No, he said he just chill. Like literally, that's what he said.
Chill. Watch
He's gonna
YouTube.
be
And
chilling,
then
bro.
just
I mean, do you even get sad? Like,
Shamar gets
no,
sad.
I mean, when I was telling you guys about that thing about my credit, I might have said a thing about that. Other than that, no.
No, but I think that the only time that I've ever really seen you sad in my life that I could actually like pick it out and say that's sadness was the last time you were here. Not this time, but the last time you were here. And even though, like, we just, you know, I had my personal feelings about that whole situation, I just feel like that was the only time in my adult life and your young adult life where I actually saw you struggling. Like, you didn't know what was next, and all of the anxiety and the fear made sense. Shit, fucking made sense. So, I guess he do be chilling, but I've only ever seen him actually sad, like, or where I recognized it that one really good time.
I feel like people who say they just be chilling don't be chilling.
Man,
They don't be chilling.
facts on facts.
Because I used to say I just be chilling. I don't be chilling. So
I be in inner
So what is it
turmoil.
really, Shamar? No, but in all seriousness, you probably had like probably the better week out of all of them.
Yeah, man, I'm out here struggling in these streets, man. Yeah, man.
I mean, do we want to talk about a weekly update? I mean, for me,
I have one this week. I was really quiet like the last few weeks, but I mean, I guess I have one.
All right, let's go update us. What you got?
The army sucks.
No.
The army doesn't suck. I think like that. I know you feel a little bit different about it, especially being a veteran and choosing not to actively partake in toxicity. But I am not there. I'm very much of the mind that I love the fucking army. Like, that's my shit. The ARs are written to perfection. The rules make sense. They do. It's the people. It's the people that are the problem.
the
And
rules make sense.
man, they do. Like, if you read how something is supposed to transpire, like there's checks and balances across the board, right? If you have integrity.
I don't think
Yeah.
makes sense is the right term.
Maybe not make sense, but if to say that they're for me, what makes sense means is that it's black and white, right? There's no room for gray. This is the right way, and then this is the wrong way, and I am cool with that.
So you mean very blatant to the point.
Very much.
Okay.
And so it's no, oh, well, I can interpret, which now, not even now, but since the dawn of the organization, people have been interpreting the Army regulation instead of just following it because it tells you exactly what to do. And then it's a little complicated because I guess my weekly update is, you know, when the fuck is zero tolerance gonna really be zero tolerance? And when is somebody being able to run fast, like a free for all to mistreat people and to abuse people, so much so that a functioning soldier is on antidepressants and on convalescent leave. Like a whole ass mom, a whole ass wife, somebody that like have had tragedy in the last year and still like not being able to overcome, or what is it called? It's not even cope. They be resilient to that leader, but you know, he can run real fast, so yeah, man.
Those are very specific examples for the audience that don't know the history about the military. It's a very specific joke that she got, and you nailed it right on the head. Literally, you could be a stone cold psycho, like a complete sociopath. But as long as you can run, you will succeed in the military.
Period.
As long as you run fast, I could take that back. As long as you can run fast within the required time, you will succeed in the military.
Period.
It is disgusting because there are some bona fide sociopaths in the military,
Stone
or people
cold
just straight scumbag. Like, you know how like tow truck drivers are like the scum of the earth. They tow your car at the most inconvenient times. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like there's tow truck drivers, and then there's a special place for that person that's just the scum of the earth. That just because they can run within a required time, and they just do what the fuck they think that they can just do. And they ruin everyone else's life, and you know,
like actual
in the
lives.
Process,
I'm not even talking about like, oh, you're ruining my life.
You know, they
like being dramatic. I'm, and it's the military. The stuff don't work.
They award people that way.
They do,
and it's the strangest shit.
It is. And when you're making a decision versus having integrity or getting by, because in my profession, shit is dangerous, and you can fuck around and get somebody killed.
Yeah.
Like, that's on period. And especially the type of personality type it takes to be in the armed services to begin with, either you're going to be suicidal or homicidal. Nigga, pick one.
Oh, yeah.
So, I just feel like I've been really fortunate, not so much Armand, but I've been really fortunate to be with and around pretty damn good leaders, battle buddies, just across the board. I've had a pretty decent military experience. I got out because I wanted to, and I came back in because I wanted to. I always had great mentorship, but yeah, just know Fort Hood is not the exception. It's definitely the fucking rule. So yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Mo?
And specifically referring to was it Specialist or Sergeant Gonzalez?
We're talking about Vanessa Guillen. Private Vanessa Guillen.
Gonzalez, you're right. Guillen.
It was Guillen.
Where she was murdered by another fellow soldier, and even though she complained and did everything the right way.
It wasn't even that soldier though. You're missing it.
Yeah.
There was she was being sexually harassed, hazed.
Well, my point is that she went through all the right. That she made all the right complaints.
Yeah,
and
and got
did
murked.
absolutely nothing, and that guy was still in a position where he still killed her and chopped her up.
And burnt
I
her.
read about that.
Yeah, that shit happens all the time.
Yeah, drill sergeant just the other day was on leave, got shot in the head. There was a kid up at Fort Drum. They freaking dismembered his body and threw him like somewhere. There was this other kid that literally they cut off his head. Yeah. That's the armed services for you, and it is
shit
something
like that happens
all the time.
All the time. Where somebody would be in a position to where they would do what the military suggests them to do, see something, say something, and no matter how much they say, the assailant or
the abuser,
the abuser still gets away with it.
Yeah, because literally what happened was I was like, hey, this person is harassing me. Hey, guys, I'm being bullied. I'm really concerned for my safety. And they were like, hey, are you abusing her? And he was like, nah. And they were like, all right, cool.
That was it.
That was it, guys. Pack it up. So
That's usually how it goes. The justice system.
How you gonna act?
That don't make it right. It definitely don't make it any good. Just because the wrong shit happens on a normal basis don't mean that it doesn't make it any better.
No.
And that's really the problem.
Yeah.
Because we could just say fuck it, mind our business, continue on with our day, not worry that the world around us is on fire. But the fact that individuals try to make a difference and try to do things to really manage a positive effect or a positive outcome or whatever the case may be, and then the result is what it is, and everyone's like, well, that was just supposed to happen. That shit kills the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
It bugs me. It bugs me. That goes back to what we talked about a couple months ago about just people thinking that they can just do whatever they want to do because that's the norm. The norm has to change, or we just need to stop looking at that shit as the norm. Call it for what it is. It's bullshit, and it needs to be addressed on the spot. And it's unfortunate because, to your point, it happens so much that it's normal, and it shouldn't be, no matter what.
But in a nutshell, that is the reason for my inner turmoil, and then being in a position where I am the junior person in that in that like abusive relationship. It has been. I needed time off of work, and all of the doctors and stuff was like, yeah, girl, go ahead and have a seat. So I guess that's my weekly update. I think the only bad thing is that now that I am home and things are not like, I'm not like crawling up the wall with anxiety. I just feel like it wasn't the quick fix. I am starting to now recognize the damage that was done. Because putting on those boots, putting on that uniform, and going to work every day allowed me that time to disassociate, because I had to take care of people. I had to take care of soldiers. That was my job. Now that I'm not doing that and I have been sat down because I need to be sat down, it's kind of like you're starting to really see the damage that was done to my psyche by that person. And so, yeah, go to hell. Your weekly update?
How was your week?
No, the last 2 weeks been trash. And I'm, I feel like professionally things have been going, very well. We got 2 new surgeons, a whole new program is going to be starting soon, and it's really exciting because it's one of those things to where when I look back at another accomplishment that it's definitely going to be, you know, a definitely another check on my box. So, you know, professionally, I'm very satisfied. I'm very happy about the way things are going, and I'm getting to a point to where I feel like I'm just beginning to start to feel like the challenges, whereas before in previous positions I always felt like I was, you know, it was like run of the mill. I didn't feel like I was getting challenged.
Okay.
So considering that I'm just feeling like things are starting to get challenging for me, it means a lot. Professionally. Personally though, shit is trash. Everything's ass. You know, I mean, got up to go start my truck, and you know I usually hit the little buttons outside. It's 29 degrees outside, and my truck decided that it's gonna beep twice, and I was waiting for the engine to turn over so I could start, and it did not do that. So I had to take my fat ass down 3 flights of stairs to figure out what's going on, and my truck made no noise. So all day I'm worrying about it. Sean's making phone calls for me. I got my neighbor involved because he works at a mechanic shop and things like that. Just to come home and thinking I gotta jump the truck, and the truck turns over. Like nothing happened. So Tony playing games with me, and today I had to drop just over $70 to fix her, and I still got transmission problems that I gotta fix. But
that'll be covered by.
And that this all happened within the span of 24 hours, and I just feel like
I hated it.
yeah, I just feel like that really encompassed all my life.
It was just like, do you have anxiety and depression? Well, get up. You have to call the neighbor because your husband's car will not start.
Yeah.
You told me to go to the office, and I was just like, I haven't gotten up today. I mean, they've been here with me. I've basically just been.
Well, I did get new brake pads today, so that's a positive. That could be my stem for the day. Is new brake pads. New brake pads.
No, they're not.
No.
They're expensive.
If you ever driven a truck that's heavy as shit when you're trying to stop on ice, new brake pads feel so good. Yeah, it's not even funny. It is just a step under having like the best burger you've ever had.
You just did that. Okay. What you got going on?
Foodies now.
Either one. Decide.
Nothing going on. Like every week.
I'm convinced you got a girlfriend. Dude.
Same.
Dude. Listen, you did.
I don't even know.
Like there's someone in your life, man.
Whoever it is, I don't care who it is.
All I know that when I open up the cabinet, there's new types of vitamins in there. There's food.
He's trying to like take care of his body.
Some vitamins was in there.
There's high rich protein foods in there.
I don't know like what he's doing. He like got his hair braided.
Like he got his hair braided. He's moisturized and shit. Like he ain't even ashy. Like you believe this shit? Like who's in your life? What's really going on, Shamar?
Absolutely nothing. I just come home from a long day, eat something, go to bed. That's it.
I don't know, man. The three of us seen the changes in your lifestyle.
Wait, Victor, have you seen changes? Victor feel like he ain't gonna snitch. Victor's like, I ain't gonna motherfucking snitch.
Real G's move in silence, bro.
Wow. Okay. All right. Shamar has nothing going on as usual.
The last 2 weeks have been pretty, like I said, pretty. Actually, I kind of lost touch with like the concept of time, and if I didn't have to like go to work at a scheduled time, I wouldn't know what day or time it is at all ever, because I spend so much time disconnecting. As soon as I get home from work, I completely like my soul leaves my body, like the way that I just completely let go of everything. I guess that's how I cope or comfort. That comforts me.
Comfort.
Like it's comforting to not be attached to anything on like just anything around me. Like that's why when I get that, I get so into the game when I'm playing a game, or you know I just sometimes I'll just like just sit in the shower, just be sitting there and not even realize how long I'm just standing there because I'm so gone, and then it's like I literally dread setting my alarm for work the next day because I'm like, fuck, I have to bring my soul back into my body and you know put on this smile for everybody. Hey, how you doing? When in reality, bro, I just want to rock. Like I'm so down bad. But I recently bought a few little pieces of equipment to get more active.
I seen that.
I'm hoping that's gonna help me. out this little slump I'm in. So
I hope so too, man. Don't be like me. Don't let all this new exercise equipment just collect dust. I had to brush off what.
I need to borrow some of them. I need to borrow some of them bands, bro.
They're just sitting there collecting dust in the bottom of the closet right now. If they still there, who knows?
Yeah. My birthday coming up though. I'm turning 21. So
yo, you need to figure that out, man. Are you gonna go to Florida or what? Because like I feel like that weekend or something, like.
I don't want to.
I heard Atlantic City's open. Risque
well,
out
I mean,
in the city
like
is
I
open.
don't like strip clubs are usually like
I
love strip clubs too. They are my love language.
All I'm saying is that like April 3rd is a Saturday. We can start April 2nd and just go into it. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna see what the mental state looking like.
Shmar,
If I'm good by then,
you gonna come with us,
definitely.
Shmar,
You're not gonna come with us?
Nope.
Shmar, what if I stay home?
You gotta stay loyal to his girl.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You got priorities.
I get it. I get it when you boot up. When we gonna meet her?
When she exists.
She gonna be hurt hearing this. She gonna hear this shit and be like, damn.
I don't exist no more, Sean.
That's crazy.
That's tough, man.
That's so crazy.
Oh man! All right, so that's the weekly update. I'm sorry, it's been a bit of a downer, man. You know what? I think we also have to realize, at least for me, I had to realize that it's only really been 5 months since October 29th to be specific, and you know, I think I finally reached that stage where it's just really starting to get to me, where I feel like because I feel like as soon as we got sick with COVID, work picked up.
Oh man, we
Christmas
were so
here,
sick.
New Year's was here, COVID was changing, vaccine shots. Like I still didn't catch up from what the hell is happening. And then now, you know, now that I'm in this new office that we just opened up, it's slower than usual. Yeah, I'm able to like Friday. Everyone's out of there by like 2:00. So I was literally in that office by myself.
You were telling me like by yourself
from 2 to 4:30.
No thanks.
And
Actually,
all I had
being
time to
alone.
was just think, and I just realized that like I am still trying to grasp reality a bit. And you know, and I had a conversation with our mother, and you know, just same thing. I think she's also in a weird space too. It's different because you know, it's different.
Right.
But for me, I just still haven't really just came to terms. I just haven't really. I don't know if I haven't accepted it yet. You know? So
it's only been 5 months.
Yeah, I know. And I had to remind myself that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That it's not that it's not just things just don't just turn over and just be better about it. So for me, I just feel like I'm battling multiple issues.
Like it's a cycle though.
And just just like our topic here, the inability or the know-how to cope successfully. Just made me realize just how much that I am just comforting the symptoms and not really attacking the issue, and that I don't even know where to begin to even tackle the issue. To be honest,
I just get up and try to take a shower. Those are my really
funky.
No, like
She
that's
funky all the time.
that's my. Fuck you. I showered yesterday. I actually showered yesterday. I didn't put on deodorant because I forgot.
And then our son, you know, he's 8 and he's gross too because he's naturally gross. 8-year-olds are gross. So between both of them, my nostrils are suffering.
Literally
my sinuses are all messed up.
That's literally my goal. My goal for the next 3 weeks is to shower. Sometimes.
Daily? I was about to say daily. That shit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, if I do extra, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's pretty great. Like, that's fantabulous. But, like, you know, I'm going to just let it rock. You know what I'm saying? And let that be that. I hope I can be a bit more productive. But I'm so fragile inside of my brain. I don't know. So I plan to keep up with my hygiene.
Lucky for me, a game I played got a huge content update dropping in a few weeks.
That sounds counterproductive, but okay.
And oh my god, the amount of content that's about to come out, I'm not gonna have to think for days, weeks. So.
That sounds really counterproductive. So I guess we should really skip over because none of us, and Shamar says he's not stepping into the arena. I know because we have like ESPN. I know what it's called.
What?
Oh, I thought you was gonna correct me.
I don't know. You call it
said
ESPN?
ESPN.
Oh,
I know what it's called. I know what it's. Yeah, so I just feel like we should skip over coping because we have all established that the only thing that we can do.
But that's our niche. I also wanted to do a little bit of big news. I don't know if you've been following what's happening out there in the world, but I do got some questions. One, the internet's fascination and obsession with Beyonce's alleged BBL. Beyonce always had a good body, and she's had children. She's older now.
She's definitely got a BBL.
Y'all just can't appreciate a good ass when y'all see one.
No, she definitely got a BBL.
Yeah, so you one of them people now?
No, I'm not.
Appreciate a good ass?
I'm not one of those people. It doesn't come with a judgment. You don't look like that. Like, that's not how you look, and it's not a bad thing.
Beyonce is at least in her mid-30s, probably closer to 40 now.
Yes, but she would have
older,
naturally aged
twins.
That's a BBL.
I'm looking at that.
That's a BBL.
That is greatness. That is a billionaire butt. That's a $1 billion butt.
Yeah, she probably paid a little paper for it.
No.
Bro.
It's a BBL.
But
does she looks amazing?
Y'all should let the queen
She looks fantabulous. She looks exquisite.
Let her live.
But I'm not gonna sit here and tell little girls that, oh yeah, you have twins, and then have your stomach retract, and you're gonna look just like Beyonce. No.
First off, I think everyone should be well aware now that you just can't look like Beyonce.
Bro, you can tell that's a BBL.
Yo, this is definitely a BBL.
You can clearly tell.
No, it's not even because she didn't get it good. It's a great.
No, that's not the thing. It's just that you can just the thigh to butt ratio.
Can we just appreciate it? Like, why do we have even if it is a BBL? So what?
No, you know why it's so what? Do you know why I gotta say so what? Because there's a bunch of people coming up, children and specifically young adults that are coming up feeling like that's how you naturally age.
That's not Beyonce's
That is not how. It's not. It is not her responsibility. That's not what I'm saying. But if somebody wants to say, "Hey, young girl," that's actually a song. This is not a natural progression of how your body works. Like, this is just not how this happens. So though Beyonce is fucking gorgeous, just understand that if you work your ass off and you had a similar physique to Beyonce and you run out twins out that thing, you may not look like that. You know what I'm saying? It's the false expectations. It's not Beyonce.
Right,
I'm not saying Beyonce got to tell people she got a BBL. That's none of my business.
But this is where I look to the individual, that actual individual, because I know that all I want to do is be skinny. I know that I wake up every day and I sit my fat ass on that toilet to take a shit, and I am looking at pictures of Michael B. Jordan and whatever the case may be, and I know that because I put 0 ounce into exercise and dieting, I know I'm not going to look like him. Okay?
You want to look like who?
Michael B. Jordan.
Got it.
Example. Not that I don't want to.
I get it.
But that's my point. I know that I'm not doing the slightest bit of ounce to look like Michael B. Jordan, to have a physique like Michael B. Jordan. So for any woman to look at Beyonce, who's worth $1 billion, who is an athlete through dance, who has opportunities because of the money that she's made and the things that she's done. And because we don't know what the hell happens outside of her on stage, you cannot expect yourself to look like Beyonce.
But that's exactly what's happening. That's what I'm saying.
No. It's that false sense of bullshit. That is up to the individual to realize reality from fake shit. And if young people, I don't want to just be women because there's men out there with the same fucking problem. If young people can't decipher that shit and parents aren't smart enough to teach your kids that shit, then you failed.
I get that. I understand that people have failed and all that other stuff, and there's supposed to be like all of these barricades that's supposed to drop all this knowledge. But there are children.
I am never going to look at Beyonce and blame her for the reason why.
Nobody said blame.
No. People. When you say you're not going to look like Beyonce, you are absolutely using Beyonce as the reason why young women have issues with self-esteem.
No, people look at these manufactured bodies and think that diet and exercise is going to achieve that. Not taking in account genetics, not taking in account that these photos are like hugely edited.
I don't think that many.
You know what I'm saying?
If
you grew up, you're different.
I don't think that many people are dieting exercise. For one, people are not dieting exercise. Period.
No, people are.
Two, people are trying to drink these fucking these spa teas, thinking that they're going to look like the model, even though we know that the model has had some kind of enhancement done.
Absolutely.
But what I'm saying is that society in general needs to get a fucking grip.
Yeah, but you don't get to just say that and snap your fingers and society gets a grip. You know how you dismantle it? People
it starts with the parents.
Yes, it starts with the parent. It starts with the parent. But if you're gonna be looking at an influencer and an influencer is gonna say, hey, Beyonce has a BBL, like just so y'all know, like that shit is like her ass is still fat.
We don't know.
Like,
we shouldn't be throwing enhancements at Beyonce, regardless of how many experts can look at her or that. Beyonce has not come out herself and said, oh, I got a BBL.
And she doesn't have to.
No. And because she doesn't have to, doesn't mean that we should be throwing that on her and then telling young people, oh, well, you're never gonna look like Beyonce because she's had a BBL. It's none of your fucking business, little Joey. It's up to the parents to look at their kids and tell them, listen, there's a lot of fake shit out in the world. It is up to you to decipher what's real and what's not. That shit you look online, every celebrity that you see online is fake shit.
Nah.
It starts with the parents.
I feel like if Shawty get her ass done and then post a picture of her ass that's done, people could say, "Oh, that's an ass job."
Nah, people need to have.
There's an issue with that.
People need to.
No,
have
I don't think that there's an issue with that, and I think, like I said, I get what you're saying, but I am 30 years old, going on 31. I was not raised around the internet. Like my mama's singular phone had a little mirror on the front. Like we used to have little Metro PCS Doughboys. They are children like Anaya that grew up in the digital age, and though you don't even begin to understand the consequences of something like that. There were actual children that did not know that prior to Facetune coming out and all of this stuff that people didn't have access to, I would say probably like 8 years ago, but the celebrities were using often to edit their photos. That's why all of those unedited photos, when they would come out, people would be like, oh, she doesn't look like that. That's because people are aspiring to look like that. That is the standard of beauty. So to say that is beautiful, Beyonce is beautiful, we're not taking away her beauty, we're not giving her beauty. She didn't do anything wrong. But for me to tell the child, hey, if you want to look like that, understand that that's enhanced. Understand that those photos are so touched up, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is a freaking clothing campaign.
But if you do, even if you didn't get a BBL or whatever, even if you just got thicker, if people are gonna like say shit on Twitter or whatever about it, they can. There's no issue with that.
There's no issue with that. It's a freaking
it's
a fashion campaign that was released to the public. People can have an opinion about that.
I guess that's my issue, is that the internet will always internet, and I don't think that we should then take what that campaign is supposed to be about the clothing or whatever the case may be, and then turn around and say, little girls, your self-esteem shouldn't be built on this model. No, your self-esteem should be built from self-within, and if your parents didn't teach you that, then sorry, your parents have failed you. Period.
Okay, but like if we're sitting at this table, I grew up in a 2-parent household for the most part, but my parents were toxic as shit. Mm-hmm. You grew up in an alternative type of situation. Mm-hmm. So, like, how fair is it for you to be here in our 2-parent household, parenting our child, giving him different aspects of us so that he will eventually be a whole ass person? Say, your parents should teach you shit. Do you feel like you were equipped enough with leaving? Nope. Exactly.
No, because the message behind it is little girls have an issue. Little girls have issues with what's happening or what they're looking at, and everyone's focusing on the little girls. But really, what the conversation should be is, hey, person, hey, adult who's on the internet who doesn't have self-esteem, get some fucking self-esteem and learn how to think for yourself.
I get that, but what I'm saying is that people are growing up on the internet, and if you
listen, we are all growing up and learning on the internet. The internet is fresh.
Not we all.
The internet is fresh. Like every day,
there are children that don't know that there was a time.
Off the internet.
Yeah,
I know niggas who are 18, 19 years old who's raised off of hip hop and Facebook and Instagram. It's very different. Like real shit. There are people who cannot tell the difference between reality and fiction.
But whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Like once you turn into an adult, whose fault is that?
It's your fault. In a perfect world,
it is the individual fault. This whole shit about people, people not knowing the difference between this, that, and the next. Like, no. First off, if it's children, I'll grant children a pass because I expect the parent to teach them what's real and what's right. But once you get into adulthood and you have the research, you have the ability. First off, despite everything that we didn't learn in school, the one thing that school has taught us is how to use something called the scientific method, and how to do research properly. That's one thing I've only ever learned in English. So being that everyone has learned that basic fact on how to do research and shit, get your ass on Google and go to the library and learn about the different beauty standards.
In a perfect world, that makes all the sense in the world.
It's individual responsibility is what I'm saying. Period. It's individual responsibility.
I mean, but by that logic, we would be walking around in a more put together society, a more socially sound society,
Probably.
a more rich society.
Probably.
But that's not the case.
Free will allows us to do what we want to do. So it won't be there, which is why we need to encourage more of it, so that way we can try to get as close as possible to there.
But I just think that your way of thinking is so exclusive. Sometimes
it's
exclusive that it doesn't.
It is
like that it's not inclusive to like allow people to meet them wherever the fuck they are and garner some type of growth. It's kind of like, you're not an individual. Think for yourself. Google, and it's like, nah, like. Some people don't really.
Yeah, there's a lot of very
I went to basic training and figured it out real quick.
There are people who live in conditions or like households where I can't fathom it. I didn't think it was possible. Yeah. So I can understand what you're saying because.
It's
I get what you're looking at. Are we going to just allow it to continue without any kind of remorse?
No, but let him finish.
No. Like I said, I get what you're saying with the it's the parent. It is.
It is.
It's the parents' responsibility, but it's also not that simple.
It's facts.
Life is never so black and white as your parents teach you this, so you learned it. It's or your parents should do
it's up to the individual to actually apply that shit.
Your parents can helicopter parent you all day about everything, give you the perfect route to success. It doesn't mean you're gonna take it. A lot of these kids are not gonna take it. A lot of these kids are not gonna listen. Parents could try taking away the electronics and everything, try to control what their kids are exposed to.
I'm not even talking. It's not even about the method and how they police it. It goes back to saying the simple thought of just conversation. The idea that we don't communicate these lessons early, we don't talk about certain things enough because it's so taboo, is part of the reason why we're in the predicament that we're in when we look at society as a whole.
That's true.
I'm kind of curious about that, right? Because I hear you, but what I'm also hearing and seeing is passion, right? Children don't respond a lot to passion. They don't. Mm-hmm. They run away from it. Mm-hmm. So if you choose to communicate with your child, like we were talking about an episode ago, and say butt sex, there was a lesson in that. You know what I'm saying? There was something that your parent was trying to convey to you that was a real, tangible lesson, and they didn't want you to be harmed. Mm-hmm. Now, because they're fucked up in their brain and they didn't get the tools that they needed in order to adequately communicate what they were trying to say, they then fucked you up, and the only thing that outwardly came out was butt sex. Mm-hmm. So I see what Armand is saying and saying, this you need to do this and this you need to do that, but your 8-year-old son in there might decide to not go your route, to choose to not speak to you, because he might say, yo, my dad is always really he's too much, he's too much for me, so I'm gonna decide to go and have these conversations with my friends, because when my dad is speaking to me, he's speaking at me, and I don't feel comfortable in that conversation, because now there's that power dynamic, because you still my dad, and if you really wanted to, you could really bust me the head for real. So if I want to be in a position to where I'm comfortable, where am I most comfortable? With my friends. And we all know that that's like blind leading the motherfucking blind.
It's not even just passion. It's just there's a lot of situations. I see this with people that I know, and with me, where there's simple conversations that I just will not have, or that we just won't have with our parents.
Period.
For a simple fact that our parents have built up that type of barrier to where we
yes,
feel
this is a barrier.
The idea of having that type of conversation with them is insane.
Yeah.
But then I see all these I see other kids or other people who talk to their parents on the phone every day, and I'm just like, who the fuck does that? Like that's wild to me. Like this girl will go on her break and talk to her mom on her break and her free time, and they'll be laughing and talking to them. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So,
but you have to be in that level of comfort, and in order, it's you have to unlock that, because that comes with trust. You know what I'm saying? And especially in a power dynamic, like I have a power dynamic with AJ. So that's why when I come at him most of the time, unless I'm disciplining him, I come at him very meek and mild. I apologize to him often, and I try to make him as comfortable as possible, kind of understanding the fact that he probably not going to be that comfortable for real.
And look, only once you reach that level of trust and that comfortable level with your child, then you can have the conversations that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The taboo conversations.
You can't, because
that's when your kid will trust you and actually open up to you. And you'll learn some shit that you never thought you would learn from your kid.
Yeah. And
you'll
you can
learn
redirect.
some shit that make you go, holy shit, for real.
I get that, but before the internet gets to internet, or before the internet gets to internet with my child, which in a lot of ways it's already happening, because he can't figure out why video games don't look like they do on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like how the videos on YouTube are all modded. And when he sees Among Us or even Minecraft, and it's just simple, he can't even comprehend why the modifications are, they're not in the standard game.
Right.
And even in me trying to explain that to him, the conversation is similar about modded bodies. I think it's very quick and very easy for society. I think everyone in society will agree that they can look at the Kardashians and realize that is not a natural standard of beauty. It's not natural.
It's not.
But then, we ridicule and we judge Beyonce, and we know absolutely zero truth information about it. But we know all of the things about the Kardashians.
I think it's strange that you say that, that you default to everybody can look and tell. But not everybody can look and tell.
Tell that the Kardashians are real.
I think if you
just like you can look and tell. Like I have
people,
seen enough butts that I can look at Beyonce and say that's a BBL.
Yeah,
right? That's easy for me.
I think if you ask people about the Kardashians,
okay, what people?
One of the things,
what's your demographic?
I think
no, it's not that simple.
I think majority of U.S. Americans, U.S. adults will tell you, yes, I'm aware that the Kardashians have had some modifications.
Because okay, so you know why? Because Kim Kardashian went on to the doctors. I don't know where she went. It could have been some type of talk show. You could look it up on YouTube. And she had her butt ultrasound, which was like, all right, bitch, well played. Because at the time, the technology was for butt implants. They were for gluteus implants.
Everyone
and she
always assumed that it was butt implants, not butt fat transfer, because fat.
But that wasn't.
Not just that, but what the standard of beauty has changed. Like to you, in your generation, you can look at that and tell that's something has to be done, right? Your butt's not that big, right? But for someone that's even lower than mine, even younger than me,
facts. Speaking.
Everybody's butt is that big now.
Everybody.
That's normal.
All the folks.
So I think for you to say that everybody can look is very
not true.
I'm talking about adults.
Yeah, well,
okay,
you're talking about
adults.
Yeah, but your adults is like is in a specific demographic. You talking about me and you that seen the DMX video, what you really want from it, and seen Jay-Z and seen Maya.
Real name, bro.
Like seen these mysticals where it was only like 2 video girls with a big ass booties. It was only 2. When I say only 2, I mean the girl in the freaking zebra print and then like the other girl with a little masquerade thing. It was 2 bitches. That had big ass booties in that video. Everybody else was very much Aaliyah vibes.
Nowadays, you watch.
Maybe I'm giving society too much credit, because I do think that if you were to talk to actual adults, that they would tell you, yes, I'm aware that most of the women.
What's your age cutoff for adults?
18.
No. 18. No. You have to be 28 up. 28 up. That's the cutoff.
All right. Well,
because he doesn't even know like
me being naive. That's me giving the society a benefit of the doubt.
So
I can admit I'm wrong in that, but.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
my point is, conversations need to be had. And usually, when we talk about if we're gonna continue to talk about how the younger generations and the standard of beauty, how it affects young children's mind, then it's up to the parents and the adults around those children to actually have conversations about it. And until we can actually have real conversations about it, I don't want to hear about Beyonce.
But do you?
Especially when people are praising other women that are
nobody's not praising Beyonce. Nobody's even ridiculing her. Everybody's just saying, "Yo, she didn't just like do 5 million squats.
So then,
she just
I am salty that Beyonce's name is in anyone else's mouth about it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
I feel like you have the
salty.
connotation that you're equating having work done to being negative.
It's not.
That's what you're doing.
I'm equating the fact that everyone has something negative to say just because someone has some work done.
No, didn't nobody say that. Cause like so everybody that I have heard talk about it, and Lord Jesus, you know,
I just looked at her comments and just, hey, he's thirsty.
Yeah.
Niggas starving.
Yeah, but it's not.
That should be the only comment. But the fact that there has to be conversation around it, whether or not she had it done or not, that conversation should not be had. In my opinion,
that conversation should be had.
Why
because
not? That conversation's always been had. Though.
No, but the reason why it needs to be had. So there's this girl that I follow. Her name is Yanni on YouTube, and she stopped what she was doing when the Ivy Park launch came out because she's actually a mentor, right? And her demographic is like between the age of like 14, like 13, 14, all the way up to like 21. Like she tries to stay with people until they choose their career path or whatever, right? And she's in these communities, and so she's speaking with, because she said if she wasn't speaking with these young ladies and these young people, she would not really know that, right? And she actually stopped work, or like, you know, decided to end her work early because she works very much on social media, and she literally exposed. But before she exposed, she did this whole life like, hey, I'm not exposing, but I am finding a lot of my mentorees, like people that I'm mentoring, really struggling trying to understand what's real, what's fake, understanding, you know, professional campaigns and how they're supposed to look, and how that is just not how the human form looks, period. You know, whether they elongate your legs, whether they, you know, trim fat off your arms. And so she went through everybody and said, this is the work that they've gotten done. And she's like, I am not exposing. She's like, I had to stop what I'm doing because I'm around, you know, females and young adults that don't have access to money to have cosmetic surgery yet, and they don't understand what enhancement looks like. They were raised on social media, and she was like, it really wasn't affecting them. Like, when nobody like, oh my god, I'm a stomach, you know, nobody was like that. But she was like, they were really starting to become discouraged. These young children that have been working with started to become discouraged. Like, damn, like when the fuck am I gonna? I'm never gonna look like that. Like,
exactly.
And she was just like, yo, they don't look like that. And so she went through with when Beyonce did like this lip campaign thing, and she had a horrible rash on her face. Like her face was just like going through it, and the untouched images got like not exposed but accidentally released. And you know, so she put that on her page too. Like her story went on for like, her Instagram story was fucking wild. And I remember seeing so many freaking influencers from the top tier all the way down to the more indie ones like, yo bitch, you just did the work of Jesus. Like, I am so happy that you really just showed it, because she stopped and she wrote like actual like, and you know, because kids don't like to read, so she made sure to keep the reading material very short, but showing them like, yo, these celebrities don't even look like that. And people were just saying like, yo, thanks, because even parents, I would say our demographic of maybe about me and you, like to Nicole and Simone and older, really don't even understand what that looks like and what that means for young adults. And so even the older adults was kind of like, bitch, what? Like, you could do that to your face, or you could face tune and make your chin like older adults, one, didn't know, and then the kids thought it was real. None of this shit is real. And that's what I'm talking about. She is actually that liaison between our age group and older and the younger kids. And she didn't do that to say these people are ugly. She just did it to say, hey, let's compare you to something more realistic. Because you can have goals and you definitely can reach them. Like, you should be amazed that the human body can do anything, but it can't do that. A computer software program did that. Like, so I get what you're saying.
So internet, and I didn't like it.
They did that with Nicki too. When Nicki came out, because I was there too. I was debating on if her ass was real or not. I feel like they do that with every girl's ass. Like, Beyonce not special.
You know, my ass.
But it really isn't Beyonce. It's for me. It the internet.
Oh.
I ain't got nothing to say. The internet, and it pisses me off. Sometimes it does that. It
doesn't upset me that much. Oh no, like me too. Me too. And then like I love to have like spirited debates on the internet.
I do too.
It's so
about politics.
It keeps like your mind swift. Like
oh man,
I can't.
I love conservatives so much. They're so much fun to talk to.
I'm pretty conservative, believe it or not. Like
that's where he gets it from.
Oh my god, that's not what it's named.
I'm not surprised.
I'm conservative in a lot of different ways, and but I'm also like really really liberal. You know what I am? I'm like really, I'm that person that I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do, but I also want you to be able to do what the fuck you want to do, whatever that might be. Like if you want to let your freak flag fly, I want you to be able to do whatever you want, but I want full autonomy of all my thoughts and my body, and I want to be able to do what I want with my money as long as I'm not hurting anybody. Like, so stay out of my business. That's kind of how I am. But I want other people to have that same type of freedom too. But personally, I think I would lean towards the side of like being a little conservative.
In what?
I would say like as far as Lord Jesus, Victor, no, I don't want to have unpopular opinions on the internet. We'll talk later.
I also feel like a lot of people just don't know what it means to be conservative or liberal.
No, like as far as like this is like we obviously know like which way to lean on which topic and what makes it conservative and what makes you like a free thinking liberal. But what I'm saying is that I do think you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and I don't particularly give a fuck if you had boots to begin with. And I do think you should work hard, and I do think that you should not have like I'm real. I can lean a bit conservative, like a little bit, not a lot. I'm still a black woman.
Well, that's why I say I don't think people know what conservative means or what liberal means, because just like how the argument of how the Democratic Party used to be the party for the KKK and slaves and shit like that, and all of a sudden somewhere in the 60s it just flipped. It just goes back to the idea that people just want to be against each other just to be against each other.
That's kind of true too.
Yeah, it's like I said, like well,
I like to disagree.
The idea of conservatism, how they want the government to be smaller and things like that goes against the very thought of conservatism. Like, just in all thoughts about it.
It kind of does, yeah.
Like, when you're conservative about something, there has to be some type of, well, not has to be, but there usually, like, when we talk about conservatism related to, clothing, right?
Okay.
How people should dress, right?
I
think most people would say that conservatism is on the lines of there should be more clothing. There should be less of the body being revealed.
Right. Oh.
But more of anything usually goes against what, especially when it comes to government, goes against those very same principles of conservatism. Because conservatism is also the same people says there should be less regulation, less big government, less this, less that. But when we look at the states that, when we just look at the government in general, regardless of who's ran by,
like Texas,
they
said we don't want no government in Texas.
So here's the thing, something that I
love this tangent. I'm so excited. Go ahead, Victor.
Something that I kind of peep is when you look at people who are more left leaning or progressive, they're usually not Democrats.
Yeah.
They're usually very critical of Democrats, actually.
Yes.
But they're definitely not Republicans either.
Yes.
Whereas when you look at someone who's more right leaning or conservative, they're almost always 99% of the time Republican, no matter how conflicting the Republican Party actually is within conservative values. Most people don't even know what it really means to be a conservative.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my whole point. Like, no one knows what conservative really means, or liberals for that matter either.
Libertarians, that's a whole nother thing.
I feel like and it's so funny because, like I said, I can see myself feeling like, I don't know. I don't want to be too unpopular, but the most polarizing case of recent is George Floyd, and how liberal media or conservative media reported on it and what they found to be important. And then I made a very spirited video that looked like and had the spirit of leaning more liberal. However, I'm still very much like, I didn't really agree with all of the rioting and all of that other jazz and like destroying the communities.
Really? I think that's my anarchist speaking, because I'm all for it.
You know what? In the spirit of it, in the spirit
that shit
of
when
it,
MLK got assassinated. We do that shit again, bro.
yeah, like in the spirit of it, I can see that, because then, like I said, I would be majorly in disagreement with something like that, though I don't feel like a target equates a human life. However, to caveat that, the young black boy that got bullied at that sleepover and was forced to drink his teammates' urine, I think that I would physically harm not just his parents and the parents of every other child that partook in the activity, as well as the children. I think that I would also harm school officials.
And their families.
And their families.
Uncles,
like,
their brothers, their cousins.
I would very much feel like it is very appropriate to take physical retaliation against them because of the long-lasting wound that my child will have having experienced that incident. So, like I said, I just want to reserve the right to flip-flop, and I just want everybody to mind their business about it.
You can't flip flop nowadays.
No, but I literally live.
Shauna,
No, I live in the spirit of flip flop.
Well,
like I live in that spirit.
Centrists are worse than Republicans, Shauna.
I think that for a lot of people, that's their issue with the idea of a two-party system, because we know that
there's not enough choices.
No,
for me,
there's not enough choices. But the idea that things have to be black and white are just really not acceptable. They're just
it's unrealistic.
To do. It's
unrealistic. So,
for some people,
I think lawlessness. I hate it. I hate lawlessness. I hate it.
You don't like lawlessness?
I hate it. That's my unpopular opinion.
I want us to go back to nomadic tribes. Okay?
Hell no. I hate it.
Burn down all.
I hate it. I hate it. I love the concept. I love all that shit.
Anarchy will reign.
However, like I said, I still reserve the right to flip flop, because if you do something so atrocious to my child, I don't want to take the high road. I want to go, when you go low, I want to go to hell. Okay? I want to harm you and your family physically.
I think isn't that kind of irresponsible to only go to those extremes when it's affecting you personally?
No.
Oh yeah.
No, I think it should go farther. Just about almost every time something like that happens.
It's problematic.
The idea that school system and the police did already try to cover up and shit still not burnt down bugs me. Like I think that
I get that.
Someone should have already burnt down that entire neighborhood.
Man.
And everyone in it.
But I see what you're saying. The question that he explicitly asked me is that things like this, these kind of injustices don't just happen to you, they happen to others. And you can openly say, even though this happened, I don't agree with the lawlessness that comes after it. But if something happens to me and mine,
there's lawlessness.
I just want to burn everything down to the ground.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
I'm problematic as shit.
If everyone had that mindset, then
there'd be nothing left.
Yeah.
We would all be on equal playing field, for real.
I agree. The thing is that when I am hypocritical, or I'm in a very hypocritical space, I'm very much accepting of it, and I understand that that's just the human in me, right? Because at my core, I just feel like, oh my God, like I said, how I cussed out my mom in that courtroom when we was there with Shamar or whatever. He wasn't in trouble, by the way. He's like the best behaved child. But we were in the courtroom.
Square.
And she was just like, giving the police such a hard time and, just like talking shit. And I was just like, oh, that's cute for you. Because, congratulations, America's big ass bully. And you don't have to be running away from car bombs and, improvise explosive devices. You don't have to be doing that. You don't have to be worried about paying money to a corrupt law enforcement officer at a checkpoint. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, that we are able to have this much lawfulness.
We'll always give the police a hard time. Always.
So it's kind of like, that's how I am. But like I said, I can be hypocritical in my frame of thinking because you made my baby drink urine.
And that's fine. I think everybody can be hypocritical because we're hypocritical by nature.
I'm running through your house. I'm thinking of like all the crazy shit, because I watch Investigation Discovery all the time and I live my life in the space of true crime. I'm doing the most.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, and all that plays into it, right? About what we talked about a couple weeks ago about people just doing, having integrity and doing the right thing. Because if people did that, then we wouldn't have to worry about someone acting lawless. Because
everyone did the right thing?
Yeah, because people would be taking the individual approach and trying to be the best that they can be, so things wouldn't happen.
But here's
so it goes back and forth.
So what's the problem?
There is the way our society is set up,
I'm so excited.
there is so much to gain from being an awful person.
There's
You gain so much by lying. You gain, as long as you don't get caught. You gain so much by lying, cheating, stealing, throwing others under the bus, stabbing people in the back. The way our system is set up, the way our hierarchy is set up, that is the quickest way to the top.
Absolutely.
And as long as you don't get caught, you won't have to worry about ever coming down.
So,
sadly, as great as it would be, if we somehow had some system to where being a decent human being actually had equivalent benefits, then yeah. But
people would be better.
Sadly, being a good person just is not rewarding, or it's very rarely rewarding.
Yeah, like somebody said that. Somebody was like, "Oh, hey, Donald Trump donated his presidential paycheck for his entire 4 years," and I'm like,
"Oh my god, wow!"
I'm like,
"Oh my god, the billionaire, what?"
No, it's not even that. It's kind of like, girl, no, he didn't. It was a tax write-off because it was a charitable donation. He got it right the fuck back, and he didn't decide to give his because presidents get paid for the rest of their lives. If you're ever in the presidency, you get paid your salary the rest of your life. He didn't donate that.
Such a finesse god, bro. That nigga,
he was like, I'm gonna donate.
To presidency, finessed himself a cult that did whatever in his name, and it took no heat for it.
He paid for it.
He did not.
Paid for what?
Listen, if anything, that election, that 2016 election just shows you, and it happens every 2 years, it shows you when you have the money, the bread, you can get elected in almost any position or keep your elected position of power for as long as you want, because that's all that happens. All these senators, they raise a crazy, insane amount of money, and I don't even know how they're allowed to be in Congress. Low key, I try not to talk about politics a lot just because of like my affiliation to the armed services, and like they have their own like public relations, and you're not allowed to speak on behalf of the organization. But I just get like so thrown off that senators and Congress people can even serve, because they are literally, they're like double agents.
There's a whole lot of legal shit that goes on that just nobody.
But like no, like they have private interests.
It's not illegal because
it's not illegal. It's not illegal. A lot of them make money outside of the country. A lot of them are foreign agents.
And it's not illegal,
like actual foreign agents.
They're rich.
And I'm just kind of like, and they have.
I mean, that goes back down to my point. The way our system's set up, being a good person, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy. And most of them are felons. Like, I'm not even making that up. Just like look it up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like most of them are actual felons.
Well, a lot of them have been indicted on crimes.
Yeah.
And some have been. The few have been
convicted.
But yes, some of them are on crime.
Yeah. So like some of them are like criminals making laws. That shit is wow.
It's not cool.
like that shit is crazy to me.
And then Tyrone gets locked up for 45 to life for a gram.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's crazy because I did not know how they had so many different like interests like all over, like interests in the stock market, and like they have like they're in big pharma and they're in Silicon Valley and they're foreign agents, and I'm like, yo, they're like outsourcing even like this, what we're able to cultivate and grow on our land. They'll still outsource that shit if they're paid more by a foreign agency. That shit is wild. And then sometimes these niggas be doing shit and like they be getting in trouble, and then like, but they still be senators. So like, I don't know. America wild. Like I didn't know that shit. You know what? I was in 6th or 7th grade, and my teacher read this long ass thing, and I'm like, okay, she, Mother Goose ass motherfucker, like what the fuck are you reading? And she read all of these crimes, like DUI, like manslaughter, murder, espionage, conspiracy, like prostitution. She goes on and on for like 30 minutes, and then she's like, hey, multiple choice, whoever gets this right, this group demographic did it, this demographic did it. All of the people in that I just spoke about are politicians and lawmakers or law enforcement or just people of power, and then D something else, and everybody was just like, it was the blacks, it's all the blacks. And she was like, no, it's the fucking politicians. Every crime that I read off for the last 32 minutes, Mrs. Clock, that was her name.
There's a bug up there. It's bugging me.
It's scary?
No, it's just bugging me.
Oh, you ain't gonna make it, guy.
Oh, it's one of those two-headed joints too.
It's not. It doesn't have two heads.
Oh, hold on. Let it follow me.
You guys are so scary.
No, it's not about being scary. I just don't want it to multiply. These bugs have a history of being.
You should leave this in the
asexual.
podcast. Asexual? What do you mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, leave it in. Leave
I'm
this
gonna
in.
leave it in. Once again, I have to use my super long abilities to save the
You
people
just
I
have
love
super
around
long
me.
arms. Shamar, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, you haven't said anything on any of the topics.
Don't do that.
I've already decided in post-production that I'm going to have a segment where you were just zoning out. I'm just going to zoom in closer to your
Yeah.
face and leave it there
Yeah.
until you blink.
Yeah, just and keep the conversation going. Keep the conversation going.
What's
That's
going
on here.
Like when y'all was talking about the Beyonce thing,
Mm-hmm.
like, and he was getting so passionate, I just didn't understand it.
Me either. I
was
never
like-
understand the
I was
passion.
like,
It's
what
not
are-
about
I was like, what
Beyonce.
are
It's
they
not about
talking about?
Beyonce. It's the fact that the internet can internet, and it bugs me because I hate the internet.
No.
I do. I hate.
Maybe because I'm like
it's
hella
not
low
the
key.
internet.
No,
it's just like how you like the army and hate the people in it. I hate the people on the internet. Every last one.
I
of
hate
them. I hate every single
what's
last
the
one. of
word?
them.
The fact that people could be anonymous,
Uh-huh.
bro. I tell
I
my niggas this
hate
when I'm on the
that.
game all the time. I be playing against people. I'm like, if I knew where you live, nigga, I'll beat your ass. Like,
Like-
bro. I know there's IP address and everything, but like, I feel like when you say some dumb shit on Twitter, your address should just be right under it. Be like, go ahead and say some stupid shit now. Dude, call me a nigga again, Timmy. Call me a nigga again.
No,
Like,
but
shit
the
like
thing
that.
is that, like, first of all, I had a white woman, and this is not all white women, but she came big and strong on my TikTok post, and then I cussed her out, and then she ran away, and then everybody's like, "You're so mean," and I'm like, "Bruh, you seen what she said to me? Like, she was talking crazy. Like, I want to punch her. Like, what made her think I want to punch her? I've changed."
I'm sorry, I got passionate some more, but I really do hate the internet and the people in it.
No, it be the passion for me, because I don't know. I never really get like crazy bothered. I do get bothered by people in my life though. Like if people like I worry about them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like you worry about them like how I worry about them.
Cause you know, like we got it. Like we got planned. Well, I got
No, I let people live life the way they want to.
Yeah.
No, and then then I be arguing with myself. So I'll call Lonnie to talk about y'all, about all my worries, and then she'll like piss me off by saying something that I feel like is none of her goddamn business, and then I gotta get off.
How you
the
gonna
phone
call her with all your worries and then get mad when she talk about your worries?
No, because I don't like that when she's like, "Oh well, this is," or when she says, "You know what they should do? They should do."
Shit, tell me. I'll write it down, bitch.
No,
Tell me.
no. They should be black and stay black and make black decisions and then die. Like I am not, unless they are hurt, I do not have any governship over their lives. And she's like, Lonnie is the type of person sometimes where she's like, you just have to put your foot down. And I'm like, these are grown ass men. I'm put my foot down, grown ass men. Like I'm worried about them. Like
I am open to all suggestions. I'll be happy to add something to my plan, take something off. Like, let me know. I'm all about conversation.
no, I don't really worry about like what y'all do. Nothing that y'all do really bother me. I think y'all lives like. No, they don't bother me, but I just want to make sure like y'all be doing all the right stuff.
Like paying her taxes.
Yeah,
I be doing tax evasion.
like not getting scammed, reading.
I've been scammed a few times. That's why I got all them bottles of like car wash shit right now. Cause no, I just didn't want to be bothered.
My mom is the best consumer ever.
I was at the gas station just
They
doing
get
all the
him
woman, and
every
he's just
time.
like, "Hey man, I got these bottles.
They
They clean
get
your
him
car
every
real well."
time.
I knew they weren't shit, but I just didn't want him to talk to me anymore. So I was like, "Listen, how much?" I stopped him in the middle of his spew. I said, "How much do they cost?" He said, "Oh, they're
Armand
about
does that a
$35
lot.
for 4 bottles." So I said,
There's no way you
I'll
bought
give you
4 bottles.
I'll
He
give you
did.
$40. And I was like, I'll give you $40, man. I'm just in a rush. But then I also had the truck, so it takes 35 minutes for me to fill up a 25-gallon gas tank. So he sat there and talked to me the entire time while I was getting gas. I'm like, dude, I just want you to leave me alone. And
Yeah.
I'm not a rude person.
Oh, I love that shit.
I'm not a rude person.
I'm really rude.
No,
I
no,
love
I'm not a
it.
rude
I be hoping
person
niggas fight me, bro.
Because think if my job, that's why I don't work in sales. But if my job was to sell somebody, and I would feel the same way. It's like if I'm trying to sell you something and you don't want me to talk to you, just buy it for me. You make my job easier. As soon as you give me $10, I'm gonna walk away from you. You know what I'm saying? That's how.
Man, I was at the bus
You know what I'm
stop. Man, bro, I was at the bus stop, right? I was at the bus stop with my dog, and you know how people, they be like these preachers out in places, right?
Oh man,
yeah, they get
I had my so
newspaper.
this is when I had my blonde dreads, right? So that man, at first he was talking to like me and my dog, but he wasn't paying him no mind. I was like, whatever, bro. And he started talking to me, and he was like, you see, you dye your hair blonde because you want to please the white man. You got the dog hair. And I looked, I said, bro, shut your ass up. My friend was like, bro, chill. And then he kept talking, and I stood up and I was like, my nigga, shut the fuck up, bro. And then he was like, look, see, the devil got you. And then another nigga with a cigarette came, and he said, yo, if you don't shut your... And he went off on his ass. And he tried to start swinging at him, and somebody that come holding back and shit.
Yeah, no.
The point is, if somebody's talking to you, just tell them to shut the fuck up. They're not going to keep talking to you.
I don't like being rude. I don't like being rude because, you know,
my
my thing
releases me on people all the time. Like,
yeah.
he does all the
My thing is, I'm never going to know. For one, I'm probably never going to see you again. And I hope I don't ever have to see you again. But just know you got this one time and that's it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll be like, Armand, do you need me?
No, I don't like it. Remember the guy at Walmart? Remember the guy in Walmart that used to come and go around asking everyone for $20? He got me like twice. And no, that's not true. He got me one time. But again, he comes up to me with this sad story. I said, look, dude, listen. I ain't got that much cash. Here's the $3 I got. I saw like, oh man, if you can just go. No. I just want you to stop talking to me. It's been a long day. I had headphones in. It was like I went to work. I worked full time. Went to school. I was in Walmart, which you know I hate Walmart. Mm-hmm. I hate Walmart with passion. I had to be in Walmart because that was the only thing that was open at 11:30 at night, and I already didn't want to be there, but we needed milk. Because we can only eat cereal or whatever else. So it was just like, I already don't want to be here, dude. Just take the $3 and go.
Nah, that's not.
He bugged everyone else for money.
No,
and
that's.
People ask me for cash, I'll be like, I don't have cash on me, and then I go pay cash in front of them. I don't give a fuck, bro. Leave me alone.
I usually don't carry cash at all anyway. But
but I'm rude as shit. Like even at like AJ's daycare, like Armand had to get out because I was just like, I will go out there because like I pay my tax.
See, they handle the children. You can't be mean to them.
No, not the actual people.
No, we were waiting. There was people. There was a line.
There's a line,
3 people
and it's
out
like
there.
we already
pulled
know.
up. I wasn't gonna wait. in the
other
cold.
parents?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna wait in the cold.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna wait in the cold. And Sean and this other lady pulls in like in the spot next to us, but closer to the door, and she jumps out, and Sean's like, I'm like, so what? We're in the car. We heat. She's standing out there in the cold. Like, let her be cold. That's her dumb ass. Let her be cold.
Nah,
I'm
that shit
the
fucked
heat
me
right
up
now.
because I'm like,
And she was all angry about it.
I was like, I'll get out here and cuss
that's
your motherfucking
pride.
ass out.
See, you gotta
but
pick and choose, bro. That's pride.
Nah,
right
get
there.
the fuck out of here. Like, I hate when people call me. Like, I hate a minor inconvenience. Me. Like, I can't.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Because I feel like when it's big issues, she lets it go, and I don't let it go.
I do. But if you minor
a dude's gonna come
inconvenience
up and bother me for $20, I got $20. Take the $20, leave me alone. Don't talk to me no more. You got me. Leave me alone.
Body slam a nigga before I give him $20, bro. What? I'll put a nigga through a stop sign before I do
the amount
that.
of money that we spend on just dumb shit. $20 is not gonna kill me.
I'll buy more dumb shit.
Fuck that.
I'll buy more dumb shit before I spend it on another nigga, bro.
Take your 20 because again, if your job is in sales, you already have a miserable existence, and some people like to be in sales, and more power to you. I just know that sales is miserable for me. So when someone comes to me trying to sell me something, my objective is to get them out my face as quickly as possible. If that means that I need to give up just $20 measly to get you there, fine. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to give everyone $20.
If everyone was like you,
man, the world would be a better place.
The sales industry would be crazy.
Yeah,
fuck that shit.
maybe.
But
yeah, I mean, I've been I can't even say that's scammed because who really got scammed? Because you just sit there and you wasted your time trying to talk to me, and I was gonna buy it anyway, so I didn't really get scammed that way. I think about it, but
I mean, if that's how you cope, bro.
if
that's how you cope with it. You got your money, bro. That's how you cope with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nah, I feel like it's not a scam unless he actually finessed you. Like, if those were filled with water.
Again, the guy in Walmart, he was a liar anyway. You know, then he tried to preach the whole good brother thing and Jesus this. It's like, dude,
brother.
stop.
Brother, man, come here.
It's like I become an atheist real quick. But like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't believe none of that stuff. Like, who?
Nah, don't tell them that because then they're gonna try to convert you. They're gonna be like, let me tell you a story real quick.
I just make them uncomfortable.
Come here.
Yeah, I just make them uncomfortable.
Why is Twitter so nasty? Why is there dicks on Twitter all day? Like,
that's your feed.
I ain't got one.
Yeah,
I got one dick.
Okay, I might be
I got a
capping,
couple.
but
I got a couple pictures from. I got a couple pictures from Chloe Bailey.
Man,
I want to say thank God.
Chloe Bailey going crazy. Like,
Man.
I love
Nah,
it.
She's been
I love it.
blasting my feed
I appreciate her.
week.
It's quite nice.
I started unfollowing the anime Twitter, the Twitch Twitter, because again,
Whatever.
Racist
following,
as fuck.
you follow Black Twitter, or you follow Black Twitch Twitter. All they do is complain about how if it's white women, right? If it's Twitch women, it's how men are dogs, and all they do is care about all they want is sex, right? And if it's Black women Twitter, it's how racist white men are on Twitch. So I just started unfollowing everyone. So right now I have a bunch of spoof accounts that I follow that make me laugh, and that's about it. And voice actors from all my favorite anime.
Request for 1 year. That is commitment. I almost pressed confirm, but nope. Nope.
But
No thanks.
yeah,
All right.
so coping.
No, I mean, like, I already talked about it. That's why we were allowed to go off in that tangent. None of us know how to do that shit.
What are we gonna do to change that though? Like, are we gonna break the cycle and learn how to cope?
AJ knows how to cope.
How the fuck do you cope?
First off, what is it?
I don't know.
What is the cope?
Let's look up what they say on the internet.
Because if comforting yourself is not coping, then what's coping?
I feel like this is the point where we have like a therapist on.
Are the strategies people often use in the face of stress and or trauma to help manage painful or difficult emotions? Coping mechanisms can help people adjust to stressful events while helping them maintain their emotional well-being. Wait, so maybe we're coping this whole time?
No, I'm not coping. That's cap for me. I'm not coping. I just run away from it until I have to face it again, and then just keep doing the cycle.
That sounds crazy. You should get that looked at.
No, like
I
will stay away from something because it's gonna hurt my mental health. Like, for example, you may see me on my work computer because I feel like it's the devil and it's stressing me out. So because I have anxiety, I have like triggers, right? Like emails trigger the fuck out of me. Mail triggers me often. Like if you call me, text messages.
So what you're doing is called a defense mechanism.
Defense.
Your problem is still going to be there when you get back.
Hold on.
That's some
and
bullshit.
coping mechanisms are ways to manage an external situation that is creating problems for an individual. Defense mechanisms can be a change in a person's internal physiological state. So when we
defense mechanisms.
yes, but we
Wow,
need to
that's
learn
crazy.
how to cope because let me tell you, I think I talked about it here. I'm just not happy. And I'm not like an unhappy person, but I'm just not happy.
You said you didn't know what makes you happy, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because chocolate donuts always make me happy.
That's temporary.
But
It's
that
not
is
real.
not healthy.
That is a defense mechanism.
Not only is it not healthy, it's not real. It's temporary.
Yeah.
As soon as it's gone, you want it again, huh?
All the time.
Okay, then, so it's not
All the
real.
time. All
It's
the
not
time.
real.
So for me, it's just, it's just, you know what it is? I'm homesick.
Really?
I think so. I keep telling myself that. Because like
At least that's like not meant like you can't like reasonably achieve that.
Yeah.
Like you can't just get. Do you want to move home?
no,
Okay.
I don't want to leave my job because I really like my job.
Oh, okay, got it.
And I don't, again, even if I find the exact same job to do in Florida, they're not going to pay me as much as they pay me up here.
Okay,
I'm not going back to that life we had in Florida. I'm just sorry to say. Sorry, Florida.
Okay.
I stabbed the camera real quick to let them know I'm serious.
Oh.
Well, I'm going back. I don't know what to do.
Sure, when you going back? Why you going back? Come on, talk about it.
Yeah, why are you going back? Florida sucks ass.
Because it's cold.
It is cold up here. Yo, it's miserable.
Facts.
It's miserable.
Facts.
And the sky gray 6 months out of the year. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Wait, okay, so you want to reside in Florida? Like, how do you plan to do that? Like, what's the timeline look like?
I mean, I always told myself even before I started working here that I was like, I'll probably leave by the end of June or something.
Really?
But I think the longest I would stay is probably like September, October, because that's when it starts getting cold again. I don't got time for that. So,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
just clear.
I don't blame
I
you.
don't blame you.
I don't blame you at all. I don't know if I don't blame you. I don't know if I support it, but I don't blame
You know what it is? The ability not to go out and like sit in a bar and drink and then meet and have conversation with people, that fucks with me too.
Also-
because I am good to have a conversation with random strangers and I'll still get that fulfillment of like socializing. But the ability not to socialize, because like I said, I hate the internet. I'm not doing the internet bullshit. I can't meet people. I can't just go and hang out. And people are so guarded these days because everyone's in fucking mask. You know, like who wants to sit there and talk to a black guy in a mask all the time? No one does. It's just.
Have you tried?
No, you're right. I haven't tried.
Okay.
Because I also don't like people in general. So there's that.
Oh my god, the paradox.
About to say that sounds like a cycle. How the fuck you gonna
really
get better?
It really isn't, because if I was in the position to go out and meet people, I think I would be fine. But because I'm in this, I just feel isolated up here, and that's what I hate the most: the feeling of isolation. I don't have a way to come out of that.
I am the opposite. I really enjoy isolation. It is odd.
I hate it.
I don't mind it at all.
Every second of it.
Yeah.
I've been quarantining since like 06, so I'm chilling.
Nah, I hate it.
I miss
What
I miss about Florida was my friends. That's about it.
Same.
That's all I miss.
Same. Well, no. Food. I think I could deal without my friends, and plus I talk to my friends very often. So
but I didn't talk with them. See. It was like we would like I'll be with my friends like the type of like what I had in Florida was I would go to work, right? I would come back from my job, which I loved the job I had in Florida because I love clothing and fashion and shit. So I loved the job I had. I was really successful at my job too. So the fact that I could go to work and come home from a job that I really like and then get a call from my friend and be like, "Yo, we about to pick you up," and I'll be like, "Bet." And that was like 4 out of the 7 days of my week, sometimes 5, 6, 7, like every single night. I don't have that up here, and that shit sucks. But at the same time, existence is so tiring. It's like, I don't want this shit, bro. So I'm still thinking about getting a fucking passport and like just going to fuck all. I don't know. We gonna see.
Okay. Okay. I'm not really supportive of that, but I mean, I see what you mean.
We gonna see.
As long as you have your birth certificate, you can go with your passport right up the road.
Why would you support this?
No, because your job is a block away from where you get your passport from in City Hall. Like City Hall is right on the other side of the street, on Marshall. So, I mean, it's right there. It's walking distance, bro. All you need is your birth certificate.
Passport, name change, out this hole. I'm gonna head to England.
They ain't gonna change your name too?
Yeah, man. Change my name. Might go to England, might go to Japan, just see what happens.
Okay.
Might join the Yakuza.
Stems and says, man. I got some stems, man. My stem is always going to be Chloe Bailey for at least this week.
Man.
She's been dropping fire content on Twitter and on Instagram.
Fun shit.
Go follow her. And my other stem is HBO Max. I'm glad that we finally did something about HBO Max. Apparently we get it for free because we have Xfinity. And let me tell you, I'm going to watch everything from DC tonight. Sorry, Shamar.
Yeah, you ain't that. Fuck that.
But I'm watching all of it. So that's my stem.
Sit in that chair. I'm fine.
And then said, no, I don't want to talk about stats because, yeah, everything's ass. Everything.
Yeah, everything's ass. A good thing that I have coming up is that I got some time off of work and I get to work on myself. That's it.
I don't know. Said would have to be like my credit not gonna be looking like my credit's not gonna be looking like a 65-year-old guy named Bob anymore. So.
What happened to your credit? What'd you do?
Nothing.
It's not messed up yet, but it's potentially just gonna be room for the next several years.
Did you buy something?
So much. I love you so much.
You bought a house, nigga? Like, what is he talking about?
Anyway.
He had to get a physical and got caught up with the lab fees. He paid the doctor.
Oh my
But the lab was like, hey, you responsible for this. And he's like, oh shit.
Shamar's like, they said that I owe $4. I just don't know.
Are you?
It's not $4.
That's good, bro. If that is a genuine down in your week, you have a great life.
Fantastic.
That is fantastic.
That's
bro.
fucking
Yeah,
fantastic.
like use your money.
Facts, bro. That shit is nice.
Anyway, STEM would have to be like I'm about to start getting some sweet overtime, so that should be good.
Your stem is working more?
Jesus
Jesus Christ, bro. You
No,
need
no,
a hug?
No. I think you misunderstood the question. The statement
This nigga said my stomach. I'm working 102 hours in my next paycheck.
and then I'm getting paid 100,000.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good for you, man.
Stem and said fake. Go ahead.
STEM is that content could disassociate more, distract myself from reality for a good, a little bit of time before I clear all that content. Genshin Impact. STEM. Said. What is my said? I mean, set is just everything. Existence lately, but I'm hoping.
Y'all are depressing.
Sad as fuck, bro. I am down bad, my nigga. Like, I'm about to get like you and just focus on money, bro. That's good. Something gotta make me happy. So that's what we on.
What's that thing I saw on TikTok? Was money doesn't make you happy? Well, then give it to me then.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Give it to me.
I will be depressed with my money.
Money don't make me. If money don't make you happy, give it to me then.
Shit, facts.
Okay.
And you ran. I feel like we ran it a lot.
Yeah. And I really, really like the tangents that we went off on because we came in here trying to talk about fucking coping mechanisms, noticing that all of our motherfucking asses is in different complete age groups and don't know how to do none of that shit. So, bitch, don't follow me, ho.
You already know who I blame.
And don't.
I'm kidding. I love you. Parents.
Oh, I didn't get
kidding,
it. It flew like all past
I got
my
it.
head.
That shit went straight in my brain. I got that.
I'm kidding. I'm responsible now. I'll learn how to cope with it.
I'm not. I'm only 20. I'm not responsible. I don't take any blame.
Oh, I'm gonna remove you from my fucking friend list, bitch.
All right. I think we good then.
All right, we good.